Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new Getting Color right here on the BigVitoBrand.com. I am Virtue. That is Big Vito. What's up, man?
How's everything, guys? Sorry for the interruption in the activities. We had some personal business to take care of. And as you know, we don't talk about our family business here on Getting Color. Virtue, take it away. What we got rolling this week?
So, there's quite a bit of topics here that I'd like to talk about. The first one is because I don't think this was news last time we did Getting Color. Did we
Okay.
talk about Jon Moxley and his situation and how AEW has handled it publicly?
Well, let's refresh the people. Let's go over it and go ahead. Lead us off.
So Tony Khan tweeted that Jon Moxley is going to be taking some time off as he's checking into a rehab facility for alcohol.
Right.
And he said that John said it was okay for him to do that. I have a lot of questions regarding all of that, but what is your take here? And because think about this, he was Dean Ambrose in the WWE before he worked for AEW. Is he going to get help from them on their dime, or is this something Tony Khan's going to foot? And of course, just the whole fact how Tony Khan made it public. I mean, I guess it was going to leak anyway, so maybe they wanted to control it. I don't know. It was just weird.
Guys,
what do you think?
If you want to be quiet about your situation, you'll be quiet about your situation. Me personally, it's just like you have your wife doesn't belong on TV with you. You don't expose your wife. Ask Lana and Rusev, because what they did with her, what I made her do with Bobby Lashley, I wouldn't let my wife do it. It doesn't out of your fucking mind. It's my wife. You know what I mean? We gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? So I think it could have been kept private. He could have taken a leave of absence. He could have been learning how to be a father. Marriage, he needs to spend time at home. He's been on the road that way. Is Tony Khan paying the bill? I don't know. Maybe it's for him to brag and say he is. I don't know if WWE would do it. They probably would if they were asked, because it's, they are offering. So, but in all, it's a private matter. Good luck, Jon Moxley and family. I hope everything works out for you guys.
So, and that's what it's all about, right? Getting on track, making sure everything's good. Tony Khan did say he talked with John. Ooh, I'm playing no DQ. We got a big news thing coming up here about Bray Wyatt, by the way. But it's all about, he said it was okay. Tony Khan decided to tweet it. I don't know. It was weird. I would have thought you'd have a publicist do it or someone closer to John's inner circle, not the owner of the company you work for. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. Get better soon, right? Jon Moxley, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Now, Vito, I've been clamoring this for a while now, and this news just broke today. We already knew Wyndham Rotunda had some contacts in Hollywood, and he was going to be doing some things there. We didn't know what it was. It sounds like he is collaborating somehow. I don't know if it's creatively or if he's going to be a character. We don't even know what movie this is, but a feature film, and I'm guessing it's something horror.
Right.
And this is what he has been doing. This is why he's not showed up in wrestling yet, back in wrestling. And what's your thoughts on that? I've been saying this for quite some time. I thought his creativity should be in Hollywood, and here we are now, probably waiting for more details on exactly what he is going to be. It could be a character in a movie. He could be helping produce it, direct it, creatively behind the scenes. What do you think on that? This is kind of where I like being like, I told you so, because there are people that argued with me on Twitter. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Wrestlers are stuck in wrestling. That's not always the case.
No, I think if he goes and does this movie and then comes out of the movie with the new character, new look, new everything, I think it would be better. Yeah. Just because you're released from a company doesn't mean you have to jump back on TV. You could lose weight. You could work on your body. You could work on your look, come do something different. Your work is your work. You're really not going to change it that much, your timing and everything. But if he's going to go that route, good luck to him. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and then, the only things we've kind of seen on Twitter is obviously now Wyndham 6, whatever that means. That's his real name, by the way.
Right.
No more Bray Wyatt because, that's WWE. And I think Cult of Wyndham. So he's got some things cooking, Vito, and it's always cool to see that. I like and again, wrestlers expanding outside of wrestling, that's a good thing, right? I know wrestling fans want them all to themselves and all you can do is wrestle. But I mean, look at what John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, a lot of these people have branched outside of wrestling. You too, right? That's a good thing,
That
right?
is a
We
good
shouldn't
thing.
be upset about that. Like I know
Nobody should be upset. You're
yeah,
broadening your horizons. You got to have a plan B. And plan B says go to the movies.
Plan C, right? We got to talk about AEW.
Go
So,
ahead.
The two big guys that they signed, right? And I'm not even going to include Adam Cole in this discussion because I feel like they've wasted him. Like literally, he's just part of that group, the elite, doing weird stuff. But Daniel Bryan, which is now Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk, they've been with AEW now for a bit, and numbers aren't improving. AEW is still what it is. I don't see that growth. Punk is feuding with Eddie Kingston. Is that correct? They got something going on, and Daniel Bryan's probably going to get up into that Kenny Omega mix soon. We'll see for the title. Could they have made these two more significant at this point? I feel like you should have, considering Punk was off for so many years, anti WWE. Daniel Bryan, right, as Daniel Bryan, jobbed to Roman Reigns at Mania, coming in as the American Dragon again, if that's what he is, Bryan Danielson. Don't you think they could have done so much more with these? And people tell me, be patient, Virtue, wait it out. Okay, I get that. You're right. You got to slow burn some stuff. Ratings have dropped since these two have been here.
Do you remember a promo between Triple H and CM Punk? Why did you resign here? Well, I wanted to have, the voice of the voiceless. I wanted to make change.
Yeah.
And he said the most prolific thing. He said, you need the WWE. So he looked at him and he says, why? He says, because without the platform of the WWE, there's nobody who's going to listen to your pipe bombs. And there is nobody listening to his pipe bombs on AEW.
I don't really know if he's giving them right now either. It's just that, hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm here for you fans. I know you want to watch me wrestle because I haven't done it so long. Like he's catering to that niche audience. Like there's nothing cool in my opinion.
But I've always said the highest platform is the WWE platform.
Yeah.
Once you leave there, you are not a shining star like you should be in other places. It's proven. It's proven. The exception of ECW. I mean, not WCW, where WWE guys can go and you're still a superstar, right?
Yeah.
Now I went from ECW to WCW. That's mainstream. That's the big one. Hello, Disco El Sueze. Look at it and you say, okay, now that's the big time. When you talk about AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, that's not the big time to me. That's indie wrestling. Another thing that could be hurting AEW is the type of wrestling they're doing. Who wants to see 50 super kicks in one match where a guy doesn't take a bump? Then they go and do a super kick in the second match and the guy takes a bump. There's no psychology.
You know what's missing with Punk? Like when he did his straight edge society thing, he was like upper mid card with the long hair, winning the Money in the Bank matches before the pipe bomb. But there was a ceiling for him. Then they gave him that platform against Cena with the pipe bomb, and he became big time. Like, at least Vince McMahon allowed him to kind of hold the brass ring. And he was getting the feuds, where he could say those breaking the fourth wall things, and it meant something. The Triple H's, the Cenas against the Rocks, the Undertakers, Lesnar's. He's not getting that in AEW. So that's what we're all used to Punk, right? Breaking that fourth wall. And that's why I think this just seems disinteresting outside of that AEW hardcore bubble. Like, I'm just not feeling it, Vito.
Guys, do you realize the people who he's going against are not Cena, They're not Triple H. They're not Batista. They're not Ric Flair. They're not Randy Orton. They're not any of the top talent in that we have in wrestling. No disrespect to Kenny Kingston. He's not on that level. So are you
Oh,
going to want
Eddie. There is a
Eddie,
Kenny Kingston, but Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston? There's no
Yeah.
disrespect to you, but you're not on the level of John Cena and Triple H and all these guys to garner all the eyes popping in to see what's going on. You are a cult following. AEW is a cult following. They'll fill up an arena. They'll get their steady 750, but that's it.
And I'm all for building new stars, but don't you think with Punk and Bryan, you should be like having the biggest type of matches with them you can have right now, and then down the road start building the younger stars with them. So what I'm saying is,
but they've been trying to build the stars all along. What do you think Jericho's been doing?
Well, that's true, right? So they haven't really done it with the guys they've had, right? Moxley, all of them have been there trying to.
They've done it.
Look where Adam Page has just kind of been trotting on his horse, just like this, and never gallops.
But Adam, all these guys are looking at now. You see, you're on that side, right? I look at wrestling different. I look at Adam Page. I don't see superstar. I'm sorry. There's nothing great about EC3.
I never said I saw superstar. I don't
see superstar. I just
know that that's somebody they had in mind to push. I mean, I'm not. You know me looking at Roman and Brock Lesnar.
I hear you. Okay. But when you talk about guys, you look at them and you say, okay, what about what is? There's nothing special. We talked about Brian Pillman Jr. because he has a name of Pillman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When you hit the ropes and he worked and he did his thing, he's a million miles away from his father. He tries, he works at it. I'm not saying he's bad. It's not his father. When you have guys in here who are wrestling, and you see, it was different for me. I had to break through the Flairs and the Funks and the Machos and the Hogans and all these guys to get myself on TV. And get over.
That's big difference.
Big difference. Now, those guys are gone, and guys are still having a problem getting over. So what does that tell you? And the guys that are supposed to be superstars, like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, nobody's watching because they're not wrestling the superstars.
Does AEW have? I think we've talked about this in the past. Do they have anybody that's not already a name in wrestling that could be a star? Or we can say the same thing about WWE, but at least now we know Vince McMahon is trying the way they've rebranded NXT. They're trying like the Gable Steveson. Hey, let's see if we can find another lightning out of the bottle, Kurt Angle. At least you see them trying now. Is AEW even trying or just catering to their diehard fan base?
I think they cater. Now, I could take one guy out of there. I'll take Sammy Guevara. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him with a little bit of personality and swag of a Razor Ramon.
I see that. I can see that.
Okay. And he could wrestle. He does some good stuff. Now, it's one guy who I said, okay, I could say him. And then you look at the rest of the stuff and you say, all right, Vito, who else would you pick? And I say, well, Jericho's a fixture. I wish he would go back to being the old Jericho. I would say, Taz tried to bring up a group and they disbanded because it did not get over. Now look at Brian Cage. Beautiful body. Does not get over. Even with Taz, a title, a prop, and guys behind him, he still didn't get over. He doesn't have it.
What about, and I'm not saying this in the sense of a big-time main eventer, but Darby Allin, look how WWE treated Jeff Hardy. Does he, and I know Jeff's even bigger than Darby Allin, and Jeff's not a big guy. Could Darby Allin get to that type of level? Jeff Hardy did get to the main event.
Darby Allin, not in a million fucking years. He's a
So what's the
hundred.
difference with him and Jeff? The platform, or is Jeff that much better? Like, because I'm looking at them as a
It's
similar
a
to the
different
Daredevil.
style of wrestling. What does our Darby Allin do that looks like you could kick the shit out of
Well,
somebody?
no, I gotcha. He endures somehow. It's almost like, dude, how is this little guy taking all this punishment and still kicking out? That's what they're. I don't even know if
And
that's
he does these bumps. Okay, he's risking his body and everything. But
yeah.
what if he wasn't with Sting? Would he be in the conversation? And who's the
Probably
guy
not.
you want to see break out? You want to see Sting be heel and go back to being the baseball bat Sting.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the old stuff. They don't want this new stuff. They want to see, you know how many people want to see Big Vito go back to wrestling and they want to see him go back to hardcore and they want to see me do all this stuff and go back in the ring. They want to see the guys who they believed in. They want to see the kick-ass son of the bitches. They want to see the guys who made it good. That's what they want.
I want to see Enzo back. That's what I want to see on
You
the main
see, all right,
stage.
let's take Enzo. Okay. Let's take Enzo and Kaz as a package.
Okay. And that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entrance alone. If you said tune in at 9:00, Enzo and Kaz are going to open the second hour. That meter will go up over 1 million people, and won't even just to see the entrance.
And it's proven because when they were a duo, they were top 2 in merch and the biggest in WWE, where it's hard to do that.
Right.
And remember when they broke them up, it was laughable, but Enzo was carrying the 205 Live division to the point they were going to tour house shows with him headlining it.
Exactly.
That's a big deal.
But you see, Enzo and Kaz are worth the price of admission. Those guys who had that something. They had the it factor.
Yep.
WWE just fumbled the ball.
And they were a little immature, right?
Immature.
They had some problems that caused their demise there.
Yeah.
The thing I'm shocked about is they've clearly shown they've grown from it and they're working indies. Vince McMahon has to know, hey, they drew me money. Let's bring these guys. I really still think they will land back at least for a year or two because somebody's got to say these guys will sell shirts and wigs.
No, I get you. I just think, guys, that with these guys today, I think it's the art form and how to work and the new style that they're doing it's not putting asses in the seats. It's not making that move forward. Wrestling 101 works. Wrestling 101 is proven. Go back to wrestling the old style instead of doing all this stuff.
Now, Vito, are you ready for this? The big topic here because the plot thickens.
Go ahead.
WWE just released a bunch of wrestlers. Now, I'm not going to name a lot of the no names, but Nia Jax is gone. Karrion Kross is gone. Keith Lee is gone. Eva Marie is gone. Let's just start with that. WWE cutting money for whatever reasons. Could it be setting up to sell? Could it just be, hey, we're going to make the profit, the shareholders happy and give them some profits back? Or could they be saving for Dwayne Johnson? What's going on here, Vito? And something about Nia I heard because she wasn't vaccinated. I don't know for sure. But
right.
the plot thickens here, Vito.
I'm going to get now. We have had fun with Nia Jax on our show.
Yeah.
And all in all, it was in good heart. And I hope somebody tells Nia Jax this. All in all, your TikToks and doing everything, that was just for fun. You as a person backstage, very well liked, loved by the WWE people. Some of your wrestling work, okay, everybody could use a little work. When you put your mind to it, cut out all the stuff on TikTok and you were a heel, you were good. And I said it on this show. This is what I want to see. This is heel stuff. You can't be TikTok and heel. You can't be heel and TikTok. You got to be heel, heel, heel. Did you get opportunity on Total Divas and the Bellas? Yes. Did you ride high on it Of course you did. You're in the limelight. At the end of the day, you're world champion, you're tag team champion. You had a respectable career at the WWE. The word vaccination has had a big influence on our society, not because of just your personal, but the well being of others. Why do you get vaccinated? To protect others. If you're not going to get vaccinated, it's your choice, it's your body, but you have to think of the other people you might infect. Carrying cross, same thing. Now, this guy was on a rocket out of NXT with his wife.
Yep.
He pissed in somebody's Cheerios, and I pretty much know he did something.
Now, let me throw this into the mix with him. Does this have anything to do with it too? He was trained by Glenn Gilberti, who's a good friend of Vince Russo. Does this have anything to do with that?
If you're gonna make money,
they're petty like that there, right?
but they're gonna make money.
Okay.
They want to make money.
So you think, okay, so push that aside. He did something.
Something. Okay. His wife, him did something. They released. They gave him a messed up gimmick. It was a failed gimmick, but gave him reason to release them. Keith Lee, I said it from day one. He is nothing. He doesn't have it. He's not the it factor. He just is a big guy who's athletic. From what I know, and from my informants, he was an attitude problem on the Indies. He was an attitude problem in the WWE. He thought he was all world, and he thought he was it. Keith Lee, sometimes you got to eat some humble pie. You have to put some work in the gym, come up with a better attitude, and you might go places. Having an attitude that you're the best and you've been there for a cup of coffee, you're lucky you got the mug. Everybody else on the roster, really don't need to talk about. They cut office personnel in Titan Towers. Right?
Well, Eva Marie was interesting because they recently brought her back, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, the looks, I get it. She was there for a minute.
But Eva Marie, they put her with this, I don't even know what her name is, E-Drop or...
Dewdrop.
Dewdrop, right?
Piper Niven was her.
Right, okay, Piper Niven. No disrespect to Piper Niven, but they put her with somebody that was new and upcoming. Mm-hmm. Eva Marie needed somebody on a higher level, like a Charlotte Flair, a Sasha Banks. That would have been interesting. That could have carried into something, right? They put her with that. It really didn't go good. They got rid of her.
Oh, before you talk about the office personnel, another one that kind of surprised me was Ember Moon. And she recently went back to NXT too. So that's weird. But that's one, I think she'll definitely land in AEW's women division. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, but like even when she arrived on the scene, it just didn't catch fire. You're going to catch or you're not. Look at Bianca Belair, right? She came in, she went to WrestleMania, she won the title. Next day, she lost. She lost on one move.
Well, she had it from Mania to SummerSlam. That's when she lost to Becky. Because remember, Becky returned when Sasha was supposed to be there, and she was out with an injury or whatever, and that's when they.
But the point I'm making, she lost with one single move, wiped out her whole momentum of her being champion. And what has she been doing since? Jobs.
She's on Raw now, I think.
But she's nothing. Now, what about the mask Carmella is wearing?
I don't know what that's about. Like, I saw it. I've seen it.
You want me to tell you?
Go, yeah. I mean, like.
Carmella is a beautiful girl. Pretty. She'd probably be, on anybody's arm. Anybody would be with her, be proud.
Yeah.
But I think maybe there could be an attitude problem where she thought she was too beautiful, and they put that mask on her to shut the fuck up.
Remember they did that with Cody Rhodes for a little while, the paper bags or whatever little thing he had. And look where he ended up.
So this could be the end of Carmella in the WWE. It's coming.
Well,
I would put Dana Brooke over her.
they still have Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlotte Flair still champion. She didn't get released. Remember all the drama that's going on with her?
They're not going to release her. They're not going to give her away. They're going to use her. She's under contract. That's tough shit. That's it.
Keep her away. Now, you were talking about there were some people in the office let go as well.
Right.
I think the CFO, can't remember her name, but gone. And now they got the interim guy. The last interim guy is now the CFO again. So this is just classic Nick Khan getting his people or the people he trusts in place. I mean, that's what's going on here. What's your take on that?
They're funny in the office. Somebody just did something. And like I said, it's just the WWE way.
And will they sell? Are they saving a bunch of money for the stockholders just to make the books look good? Or are they getting ready to sign Dwayne? By the way, Dwayne came out and said, there's no time soon. I look like I'm going to have an opportunity to do wrestling. And I always feel that's weird when I see that. Like, Rock, go ahead.
Did anybody realize the WWE just paid how much in their settlement for the lawsuit that they lost?
No, how much?
Quite a bit, $35 million.
What lawsuit was that?
With the shareholders.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and they got free up that.
So with them, everybody bypassed it. You heard it here on Getting Color. WWE had to make a settlement for the Saudi Arabia stockholders and the investors, right?
Yep, and that was news in the past, right? But it was old news. So good Sherlock Holmes work there, Vito.
And what people forgot was they have just paid out this money. It's not going to come out of their pocket. It's going to come out of the WWE talent's pocket.
Yeah, that's a good.
So when you look at it, they took the money yearly that they were going to pay these people, and they just paid off their lawsuit.
I still, and again, right, even though Dwayne's saying he's a busy man in Hollywood, and you got the smart Mark saying that's, he's insured by his film studios that won't let him do certain things so that it doesn't jeopardize his movies. It's all funny that this has all come out. We're heading towards Survivor Series, which is going to be his 25th anniversary. He debuted at Survivor Series 96. Now, I'm not saying he's going to show up there, but it's also weird. WWE tweeted a picture of him and Roman saying, what's a dream match for The Rock? And I'm just telling you, Vito, I know it may take a long time. It may be Hollywood 2 years from now. I still am banking that match is going to happen. And WWE is financially getting ready for that as well, because Dwayne ain't cheap. He's a top movie star in Hollywood.
All right.
Anything on Vito's mind before we close the show?
We covered it.
We did. We got through this, man. So thanks for letting us tune in on a Tuesday night. Normally we still do these on a Sunday, but I will tell you to follow Vito on Twitter at the Big Vito Brand. Follow me if you dare at NoDQ_Virtue. But this has been Getting Color right here on the BigVitoBrand.com. And also check out Patreon.com/BigVMafia. Bunch of cool stuff over there. We do Virtue's Rage. We do Sit Down, the Round Table. And, of course, Getting Color and all the other shows right here on the BigVitoBrand.com. So thank you for watching and listening. And we will see you again next time.